G'day and welcome to Aussivision. We're up to day 4 of rehearsals for the contest this year, and we're in the semi-final 2, second half, and we're going to start talking about the last song that was just on because it is up towards the top of the odds here. It's Bulgaria, and it certainly had some impact on people. Kyriakos, what did you think of Victoria's staging?
Yeah, I think overall it just hit me in the chest. I think we have a potential winner, especially right up there. I love the whole rotating rock, cliff, platform, plinth thing with the sand. Nice visuals as well with the starry background, and just her vocals just sounded really, stunning overall. I think the televote's really going to love this, and I'm speechless. I loved every.
You don't sound like you're speechless.
I was just struggling to come up with words because it was really good, and I had Victoria like 37th in my rankings, but then watching that, she really sold it very well.
So certainly changed your mind of it from the staging, which it obviously can happen. Mike, are you as excited as Kyriakos about it?
Absolutely not. Look, it is good. It's a very striking presentation, but I think one of the problems you've already mentioned there, Kiri, is it a rock? Is it a cliff? What is happening here? And we have prior knowledge of the song, so we're going to piece it together. I mean, obviously this is getting out of the semi-final, but once we're in the grand final and the once a years watch it, it might be just what is going on. It does distract from the song because I think the song's somewhat prosaic in itself. It's good, but I'm keeping a lid on it very much so.
For me, look, I think it's very striking, and I think I was always worried about the televote with this, and I think they've given themselves a chance to get some televote love here. Depends how much love they get. I do think it's still a strong jury song overall, and the staging is great. I found it very impactful. I do think it is confusing about what it is. That might be a good way to just keep people talking, but you don't want them to talk over the song because we were going, what is that? Is that a boat? Is it a rock or whatever? And I do think people at home might do that. But overall, I really liked it. I like the sand effect. The quick nod to a relationship without sitting on it too long was good because if you did it too much, it'd be a bit eh. So overall, enough going on to give it some televote love, which I was worried about. So it has gone up my estimations of its potential result, but I don't get winning the vibes.
Oh, okay. So the photo, who was the photo of?
It was a relationship. Her boyfriend?
Yeah, maybe her and her boyfriend.
I thought it was her parents.
Oh.
No.
See? There's so many questions.
You have a big not for whatever being filmed or whatever on there, so we can't see it properly. But whatever it is, it's a touching, tiny moment. But I don't stay on it too long. Okay. All right. Well, there were other songs in there, but we don't even know what was going on, but most of us liked it. Let's go back to the start. We had Georgia to start with. What do we think of that one, Michael?
Look, it's very similar to the song. It's very stark. It's very pared back. There's not a lot happening. It was the classic case of just the first run through. He gave it nothing vocally. He gave nothing in performance. It was just make sure I know where I need to stand, make sure I know where I need to be at a certain time. And I think personally, if that's the staging, it should reflect the scoreboard on the night. Not a lot happening.
Kyriakos, how about you?
Yeah, I still got here, still very niche, simple. I did like the projection of the lyrics on him and, seeing some English lyrics and Georgian lyrics. That was probably my favorite part of the whole thing. But, very simple.
Yeah, I think it was a very dark performance overall. The crescendo coming out towards the end there, and there was a bit more light happening, but a very dark overall performance. And for a song that is apparently about being in love with nature and everything, I thought that I know it's a bit literal, but maybe it would have made just a bit more sense because I feel like this very monotone performance and a darkness, I don't think that's going to really work. But I did find it hilarious when he was playing around with his vocals because he wasn't doing it properly, just hitting his marks, and that was probably the most entertained I've ever been by the song. Let's move on to Albania next. Kiri, what did you think of this one?
Yeah, she totally owned the stage. That was really good. I did feel like I was expecting a dancer or dancers to come out and just give it something a little bit extra. But yeah, the close-up shots of her, and yeah, she really owned the stage, and it was great to see, and the effects with the LED and some really great camera angles too.
And Mike?
I'll agree with that. Yeah, she did. When it was close up and they had the good LEDs behind her, etc., it really, really worked. What she's wearing is good. She pops on the stage. The issue I have with it is the longer shots. She is absolutely swallowed up by that massive stage. Probably could have done with a dancer or, even some backup singers just standing behind her, a la Yonita a couple of years ago. But yeah, look, generally it's pretty good. They've just got to watch those long shots.
Yeah, I think all the pros that you guys have mentioned there, the tight shots, the LED use is really good. And I think she's very commanding, and she does her best to own that full stage. And the smoke effect at the end is really good. It frames her, but it's right at the end. And there are parts in the song that had a dance kind of number, I guess, at Festivalia Kungas, and now she's just kind of standing there and does a bit of a catwalk at one point. They're trying to make a move and do things to keep the movement going of that big stage, but I'm confused why they didn't have a few dances. I think it would have made this go from like 90% to 100. But overall, I still think it's been a really good staging for Albania. I think they can make those long shots work a little bit better. If you're just having to play with camera shots, then that's not a bad first rehearsal. I was really impressed. I thought they did really well. Okay, moving on to Portugal. Let's get comfortable. I'll start with Michael first before we go on to Kyriakos, who we know loves the song. Michael, what did you think of it?
Look, I'm not so massive on the song, and I have to say I was really, really impressed with the way they presented it tonight. We've got some nice little sort of vintage stuff starting and then moving through to a really warm finish at the end. So I thought for the song and for what they've got to work with, they did something really, really nice with it.
Kyriakos, what did you think of this?
Yeah, I thought it was a very classy act overall. There was a really good money shot where the camera's on the floor and then it goes up, and I thought that looked really effective. Personally, it was spine tingling for me, but I struggled to burst my bubble and see it a little bit outside of my obsession that I have with the song. But I think this is more of a jury song. I think the juries will definitely go for this one, and it may surprise some people too.
Yeah, I was really impressed. I have been thinking this has got some jury potential, but the staging has definitely lifted it up for sure. I think they presented in a really great way. There's a show in the UK about live music called Jules Holland, and to me this looks like the Eurovision version of it, and musos love that stuff. I really like the warmth and the big towards the end, and it almost looks like a pyrocone, but it's actually the LEDs. I like the kind of the effect of having a kind of orchestra at the back with the shadows. It looks a little cheapy, but I like the effect of it. It was making it a bit bigger and made the musicians not seem so weird on stage, and he's far more in front. And so they don't look like they're just sort of sticking out a little bit. They've done a good job of that. So overall, I was really impressed with Portugal, and I think it certainly lifted their chances. Still think it'd be televote kind of death though. But who knows what happens with the jury. All right, well, those are the 4 songs there. Some really interesting ones, and we'll be back to the other songs later this evening. Thanks for joining us. See ya.